Welcome to the Valley Today, a public service presentation of KAIL TV. As we grow older, many of us choose to go into assisted living environments where we live out our remaining days. The old folks' home is what it was called. Not at the Terraces at San Joaquin Gardens. This is more like a country club, with anything you can imagine available in a retirement community. Join us as we speak with Jessica Lopez, Executive Director at the Terraces. Up next on the Valley Today.
Welcome to the Valley Today, and we have the distinct pleasure of being with Jessica Lopez at the Terraces. Now, Jessica,
Hi.
oh, it's great that you gave us this opportunity.
Absolutely.
We found out about you from a mixer about a week ago for Clovis Chamber of Commerce. And at that time, my eyeballs got opened up as to what this facility encompasses.
Yeah.
Can you give us a brief history on your facility? Because I know that you had a name, San Joaquin Gardens, and you're transforming that into the Terraces.
Yeah.
Bring me up to speed.
Sure. San Joaquin Gardens started in 1966, and we were one of the premier retirement communities at the time. We're the longest and most established in Fresno. And we started as San Joaquin Gardens here in Fresno. We're the only continuing care retirement community in the Fresno area. And that means we offer levels of care from residential living, somebody that's fully independent, maybe still working, that we provide amenities and services to, but reside completely independent. We also have assisted living, memory care, and skilled nursing. So when a resident comes to us, they can live their entire lives here. So often our residents reside here for 15, 20 years. This really becomes their home. So we're like a little city within a city that where we serve our residents, and we're just very blessed and privileged.
I jumped the gun a little bit when we started this. We are doing a show on a retirement facility.
Yeah.
And there are numerous opportunities in Fresno. I think that the industry is growing quite a bit.
Yeah.
And do you pin that on perhaps our centralized location and perhaps affordability factors?
Oh yeah, we do get residents from all over California because of the affordability that Fresno has to offer, the retirement options that because obviously one of the big factors in planning for retirement is financial feasibility, and it's predicting in the future what that need is going to be, and needing that assurance that they will be cared for. So we do offer in Fresno an economy that allows for somebody to live out their senior years in a retirement community and not be worried about financials going forward. And at San Joaquin Gardens, we're a not-for-profit. So most of our competition in the area is a for-profit. As a not-for-profit, the residents that reside here are offered the assurance that if they run out of funds through no fault of their own, they're going to continue to be cared for. They will never be asked to leave San Joaquin Gardens because they cannot afford to pay their monthly fees. So the financial peace of mind that brings our residents,
Well, that must be a huge burden lifted off of somebody. If, let's say their funds are applicable to what they prescribed as their term of life, and they start to continue on, and the funds get lower. You don't evict people.
No. Our residents, that's what I think is so unique about us, that we really are a community. Our residents live here for so many years, and they have such assurance that they will be cared for no matter what happens with them physically as they age or develop any physical needs for assistance or cognitive needs for assistance, that they will be cared for in our setting. But also the financial peace of mind that if you need our assistance, you will never be asked to leave, that you will have a place. This is your home from the moment you enter into this wonderful community until you depart this earth. You will have a place with us. We will care for you, and the peace of mind that gives your children as well. I mean, that's the number one reason people come to us, is they want to provide their children. They don't want to burden them. They want to give them that peace of mind. That's the biggest gift that they can give their child, is to say, you know what, I'm going to be cared for. You go, you live your life and live it to the fullest, because I'm here and I'm safe and secure and I'm happy. I'm not just living, I'm flourishing, I'm thriving because of all the services and amenities that they have to offer. Our residents have more to do than I would ever hope to do. I mean, they have so much fun with all the amenities here that we have to offer. They're taking Chai Chi classes and watercoloring and performing in plays. I mean, they're not just living out their final years. They're still being challenged creatively and in every fashion, and That's the one piece of advice I remember a resident telling me once, that, you know, we don't want to be entertained, we want to be challenged, and we want to have a purpose, and that's our goal here, is to provide that for them.
Very good. Now, I'm going to paint you a picture
Yeah.
of what I dealt with some years ago. I had an ailing mother in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
She had lived in a beautiful home, but she was suddenly calling upon neighbors to take her to the grocery store or to run errands for her, and I felt that it was time to recheck her lifestyle. Now, my mom was not necessarily cooperative. She didn't want to leave Los Angeles or her home,
Yeah.
but through discussions we were able to propose to her an opportunity to be closer to family. And I live in Fresno, actually Clovis,
Yeah.
and it was difficult. And I saw in her something that your staff has to deal with, is sometimes it's a reluctance factor to give up what they have.
Yeah.
Others come in willingly because they see the light, that it's an
Yes.
easier lifestyle.
Yeah.
There's no roof to recover or repair. There's no lawn to mow. It's all taken care of for them. But getting back to my mother, the defining moment was the affordability factor as
Yeah.
compared to Los Angeles market.
Yeah.
And that was a big, big plus for us. I'm going to back up even further. San Joaquin Gardens, is this the Terraces at San Joaquin Gardens, or is it the San Joaquin Gardens Terrace?
We started as San Joaquin Gardens in 1966, and a few years ago we became the Terraces at San Joaquin Gardens. And that was strategic on our part to give a new name to the new beautiful buildings and amenities that we have to offer. We are serving third generations of individuals that have resided here. So grandmothers and great-grandmothers have resided here. And, you know, we wanted folks to know that this isn't the San Joaquin Gardens that you might remember, that we are progressive and innovative and are offering services and buildings and amenities that no one in town is offering. So we wanted to change our name to reestablish the fact that we are not only the oldest retirement community here in the Fresno area, but we are also the most innovative and progressive. And I think we are most proud of the fact that we are truly changing the landscape of senior care. And it's not just for our residents in residential living who are independent, and it's for every level of care. We're just changing the landscape of what it means to provide senior services to a resident, because we foresee the future. Baby boomers are heading our way.
Yes, they are, in a
baby
large
boomers
quantity.
are going to want something a little different than what mom and dad might have had.
Certainly.
And retirement to them is going to mean something very different. And so, you know, opening a full service spa. I mean, San Joaquin Gardens in 1966, those residents that resided here would have never thought about getting a facial or a massage, but residents today, that's part of what the service that they want to have offered to them. So we're trying to be progressive in what we provide. So the name change to the Terraces San Joaquin Gardens was really to alert the community that significant changes are happening, and it's not just the buildings you see as you drive along Fresno Street.
1966, you gave me a date when you started.
Yeah.
In this location?
In this location, these 26 acres, we've been here since 1966.
26 acres, that's pretty good size.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous, you know, and that's why that we can do all that we can do, because we had the land for so long and we were able to get these 26 acres, and we've been able to offer all the amenities and services because we have so much to build on. So, although it still doesn't feel like enough, even with 26 acres, surprisingly.
No, I imagine with the clientele that you have and
Yeah.
the expansion programs that you're currently doing.
Yeah.
And we're going to go outside at some point and take a
I'm
look at
so
some of the
excited to
buildings.
show you.
But yeah, I imagine 26 acres is maybe not enough. But you have to utilize what you're doing, so you're going up a little bit.
We are going up. So folks that have driven along Fresno Street might have noticed a very large building that's 3 stories that we're very proud of, and is what we call our Milano building, and will be opening next month, actually. The first resident will be moving in, and it has 86 new apartments that go up to about 1,450 square feet, which is,
That's
you know,
the size of a house.
that's the size of my house. I was just about to say that. So, I mean, it really is something substantial and very different from anything else in the area.
All right, I'm going to harken back to my mother's experience. It was 1998. I pulled her out of Los Angeles. We recognized that value was available in Fresno, and there was multiple choice at that time. Since that time, I had another experience in 2005 when my father was ready to retire.
Yeah.
Now, he was even more difficult to deal with because he had beginnings of Alzheimer's. And so we found the proper facilities that could deal with that I understand that you're an all-encompassing facility, so you can handle various types of degrees of people and their resentment or their encouragement all on their own to come here. Can you tell us a little bit about your services that you offer?
Yeah, so as a continuing care retirement community, we have every level of care that one would need. So if somebody begins needing some physical assistance with activities of daily living like dressing or bathing or grooming, we have our assisted living lodges that can provide that level of service where there's caregivers 24 hours a day.
All right.
We also have our Grove, which is received awards for memory care and the programs that we provide there. We use a best friends approach where, you know, that isn't just a caregiver, but our goal is for that individual to become that resident's best friend. And that's the person they look to, because dementia is a scary and frightening disease to the individuals that have it. And there's nothing more terrifying than waking up and not recognizing people that you know you should know.
Certainly.
So having that common face and that individual that's been trained to, you know, really provide ease and comfort to you on a daily basis is so essential. So that level of care provides assistance to folks with Alzheimer's and dementia.
Very good.
And then we also have actually, we have a current healthcare center, and we're opening a new village in March or April, which is our new healthcare center. We're calling it Bellagio because of our new Italian identity. And that, I have to say, is one of the things I am most proud of. Because many folks who have walked into a skilled nursing facility or, you know, a nursing home that they might have called it, didn't have great experiences. You know, it's more hospital-like. It's you know, shared accommodations with a, you know, curtain separating you. That's not conducive to quality of life.
That would be more hospital-esque,
Exactly. That's not where somebody wants to reside, and that's not what they want to call their home. So we have been working for about 10 years with the state of California to get approval to build a brand new skilled nursing facility that looks like someone's home, where they have all private accommodations, where every resident's room looks into a great room just as you would have at home versus a nurse's station. Many of us don't have a nurse's station sitting in the middle of our homes, and we don't need to have that physical environment to provide great care. So we are opening the first of its kind, and we're getting national attention for it. And so that's, I think, what I'm most proud of, is that those individuals who have skilled needs, who have clinical needs, who are the frailest of the frail, are going to be offered the same dignity, the same freedoms of choice, and given the same level of service and amenities as every other resident here in this beautiful new building. And it's something that I'm so proud and excited to have offered here.
Very good, and you should be proud. We're going to go outside here in a moment and take a look at some of the gardens and so forth. It truly is a beautiful piece of work here.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the Valley today, and we're with Jessica Lopez at the Terraces of San Joaquin Gardens. And I don't want to bore anybody with my own circumstances, but you know what? It was a painful situation for me to deal with. Two parents who I migrated, one from Los Angeles and one from Las Vegas. Again, I emphasize that Fresno was kind of becoming a hub for this activity, and the affordability factor. People come in here and they're either willing or somewhat reluctant, but I have a feeling that your staff, which is very astute, and there's quite a few people to help people, can get people comfortable. Can you give me a comfort factor in terms of how they greet or come into your facility?
Yeah, our goal is education. I mean, this really is the most important decision somebody's going to make in their life. I mean, it's a financial decision, but more important than that, it is looking in someone's eyes and saying, okay, you're going to be the person that's going to care for me when I need it. And that's a huge emotional commitment. So it's not just a financial commitment. And so our team is obviously well-versed and educated in the process, but is really there to help guide them to making the best decision for them. I've been in the industry since I was 19 years old. I mean, this is the only industry I've ever known. I can't imagine working anywhere else, because the fact that we get to care for these amazing individuals who've lived amazing lives is a privilege and an honor, and that's how we treat everybody that walks through our doors. So it's not even, I don't even consider it like a sales team or a sales effort. We're really there to educate our potential folks on the options available to them, and we're just one of many options, and it's right for some people, and we're there to help them make those decisions. And if there's other avenues that'd be more applicable, we're there to make recommendations as well, because as you said, it's a highly emotional emotional time.
Oh, it's really, it was a tug of war at times, and then it was easy going, depending on how the staff was treating people, or the welcome. That's the biggest part, is just getting the welcome.
For the seniors, for the family members, this is the most emotional decision that you're going to make. So ensuring you're making the right one. And I think the best piece of advice I can give any senior is to do your homework, do your research, look at the options, find out what's available to you, so that you can make the decision that's right for you. And so our process where we work with residents before they move in can last 2 and 3 years, as we continue to educate folks about all the amenities and services that we have. This isn't a one-step decision. This is something that we take seriously, and that we want them to do their homework and to do their research as well.
How many facilities do you think, and I know this is an oddball question, or you can't put a number because there's a lot of facilities in Fresno. What do you think the number is in terms of rehabilitation or retirement centers for seniors?
Oh gosh,
take a ballpark guess.
I would guess 40 to 50 easily.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, when you look at skilled nursing to assisted living to independent living, there's such a variety of choices. What makes us unique is, of course, the fact that we are a continuing care retirement community. So we have all of those options available on one campus setting on these 26 acres. So, you know, a resident that resides with us is cared for as their needs change, versus in other settings they will have to move out to go seek alternative housing because they develop a clinical need and they can't stay in an assisted living if they have that. So, and I think the biggest benefit that we see in this type of setting is the fact that this really is a city within a city. I mean, this is kind of like a neighborhood in the 1950s where everybody knows everybody. And so it's not just our team members caring for our residents, but the beautiful thing is they start caring for each other. You know, as they live here 15, 20 years, they have neighbors that's their family.
Similar age groups.
Absolutely.
Similar likes, similar hobbies. All of this is facilitated by the Terraces with the amenities you have. Now we're looking at your beautiful new building here. How old is this facility right here? This is the
This opened in July of 2012. So this is the heart of our campus. This is the building that we were the most excited about during the redevelopment process. Our community's been in redevelopment for 5 years, so since 2009, and this was the building that we couldn't wait for. And this is our Valencia building. It really is the heart of our campus.
And the motif of here is so aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It is that Italian kind of a Mediterranean feel,
Tuscan,
which I think is the flavor of our times, because shopping centers and other areas are doing us fountains, marble tiled floors and so forth, and it's so charming. I just want to hear some of the, again, I want you to repeat some of the amenities you have here, because this place is quite a campus.
Thank you.
And it's deceiving a little bit when you come off the street. It's hidden, so it's quieter in here, although the trucks were driving back and forth just a moment ago delivering things. But you're isolated off the streets, and you have 26 acres to operate on. So you kind of are cloistered into this feeling of security, yet residents can go places, do things. Elaborate, please.
Sure. So so it is kind of a hidden gem in the Fresno area, because I've lived here my whole life, and the first time I came on campus I had no idea how vast it was. And you know, it's just getting more and more impressive as we go through redevelopment. In our Valencia building, we have a performing arts center, which is a state-of-the-art room where our residents can put on plays and watch musicals, where we've had performances by you know, members of the Philharmonic. Our own residents who play instruments get together that are amazing and have great talent. We also have what we call a fun band, which is our residents that don't have as much talent, their words, not mine, but they get together and sing songs and play kazoos and washboards, and they just have a great time.
I can elaborate on it even further. My daughter's in a group called the Bach Children's Choir.
Oh, she was here.
And they've been here. You have inside this building, you have a stage,
and a sound system.
Oh, it's magnificent and so fresh and new and beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed our mixer when we had a chance to see this facility, and I was so impressed. I wish I'd have known about it when I had my parents around, but we accommodated them. Okay, so this is what I keep coming back to in Fresno, and this is why the community affairs program kicks into gear. Somebody lives in Sacramento or the Bay Area. The other family members live in Los Angeles or San Bernardino or something like that. where do we put mom or dad? Well, if we could find a middle spot, and that way when we want to get together, equidistant driving times to get to see them. No tug of war as to who's taking care of who at this point. You guys step in and become the guardians, the caretakers, and the assurance to that family that things are going to be okay and that everybody's going to be comfortable.
Exactly. And that's why I think being in the Central Valley, having that central location, we have so much to offer the entire
You think that's why there are a lot of facilities cropping up and the industry seems to be growing here?
I do. I also think that, Fresnans are loyal. And they want to remain here, and so we have residents that are born and raised in Fresno, and even if their kids are not here, they want to be here. And they made the decision to come to San Joaquin Gardens 20 plus years ago because
oh my goodness, really?
This
already
true
planning
story.
it then?
Absolutely, and that's because of the reputation that we have. And so I do think that there is both acting in our accord. I think the people that are born and raised here want to remain.
Yes.
And then
it would be a no-brainer for me if I'm a Fresno resident. I can get in a excellent facility such as this and not break the bank doing it, and know that I have peace of mind. Do you have out-of-town people?
A tremendous amount.
Tremendous amount. I was going to say there's got to be a percentage.
I've had residents that have come to me and said we strategically made this decision financially because this was, coming from the Bay Area. Their money would go further in their retirement years here in Fresno, which just makes sense when you look at the economy.
In my mother's case, we looked at places in West Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, the Orange County area. Fresno was, at least at that time, less than half.
I would imagine so. I mean,
less
just cost of living.
And the care was particularly good. And I know that that's what you offer here is that again, where we keep bringing up the peace of mind factor, but that's ultimately what you want when you're older. You don't want to have to worry about a lot of stuff.
I think
now,
you do.
You have pool.
We have, back to our amenities. I love to gush over this.
Yes, I'm going to give you the chance.
We have 3 different restaurants on our campus. So we have a bistro that offers, if you want to get a burger and fries, you can go to the bistro. We have a fine dining restaurant called the Monte Carlo. And if you want to go in and get a surf and turf, or have the chef's pick of the day or some fresh salmon, I mean, amazing foods. We have a renowned chef, Chef Todd Vanderpool, who's very well known in the Fresno area. It was a coup for us to get him, and our food satisfaction scores are through the roof because food is important. Let's face it, food is a very important thing.
And dining options are available. There's workout rooms, there's Tai Chi classes you told me about, there's physical therapy, there's extended care, there's medium care, there's short-term
Our goal is to offer freedom of choice, and that comes with not just the levels of care providing service as their needs change, but also providing freedom of choice for, where do I feel like eating today? Nobody wants to eat in the same restaurant every day, no matter how great it is. So the fact that we have 3 different dining venues a resident can choose from that have very different menus associated with them, that we have our own coffee shop that offers Pete's coffee and cinnamon rolls and different things like that. Like, all those options. So you can go get a book in our library, grab a coffee from Pete's coffee shop, and then sit down and relax.
And you have mobile service for everyone. Mobile service, they can be going off campus and go to their grocery store, their drugstore, and so forth.
We provide transportation to medical appointments, to shopping. We have our spa where you could go and get services there. We have 2 different jacuzzis, a pool, and we also have a fitness center. And we're really focused on keeping our residents active in every capacity, and part of that is keeping them active physically. And I had residents that could outwalk me. They go and walk 5 to 6 miles a day on that treadmill, but we have a personal trainer dedicated to serving our residents to come up with plans that are good for them based on their current physical abilities.
Thank you. Well, Jessica, as usual in the Valley today, sometimes we just don't have enough time to cover all the essentials, but I hope we did enlighten the community with what you have to offer here. Can you tell us how to get a hold of you, and perhaps an email or a website or a phone number?
Sure. So you can call the Terraces at San Joaquin Gardens, and our website is www.terraces@sanjoaquingardens.com. Our phone number is 559-439-4770. You can email me personally at jlopez@abhow.com, but we'd love to hear from you, and come on by and check us out.
Well, I think that's a call to duty and action for all of the baby boomers out there. You can start your 20-year plan starting today at the Terraces. We thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope this has been enlightening for you for the senior citizens to be and the existing ones that already are. Thank you so much, and this has been a great opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Goodbye.
you.